Okay, so you know this situation. It's like a Friday night, and you're looking at your grinder grid, and you're like, "Oh, this one, weird. Tried to get me into like patient doctor role play. Wasn't into it. This one, I fucked. It wasn't an enjoyable experience. Became a stalker. This one on the right, complete weirdo. This one's an uggo.
Okay.
This one is only into bondage and electrodes. This one could have been in love of my life. But he has a husband.
Okay.
Who I tried to murder. And this one, anyway, long and the short of it,
Yeah.
I'm like, every one of these people I know, and maybe I just need to move to get a different grid. That's what this season of Happily Ever After feels like. I know all of these people, and I don't want to fuck with them no more. I want to move. And we're going to move next week.
I'm concerned about your grinder grid. That's really kind of what I got from that.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé. Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown. 90-day Beyonce. Marrying someone you've only met on your phone. Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love. It's reality, yeah. Let's love.
Seriously, I can go down and tell you the closest people to me. I can tell you every single one of their stories.
You need to talk to someone about this. I'm concerned.
They're all my little fucked up neighbors.
This is how I felt about this. It's like when you take a dump and you flush and the toilet forgets to get all the poop and there's just a little bit of turd just still left in that water.
A turdlet.
And that's what this part 5 was. It was a turdlet, y'all.
And it just wouldn't be flushed. Just hanging out there going, you thought you got rid of me. Hey, boys.
A poodle's love of his life. All right. Y'all,
he could have been the love of my life.
This is Reality Gaze, and this is Happily Ever After, Season 8, Episode 24, Tell All Part 5.
Oh, I had 25, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is 24.
I think it's 24.
24 episodes.
24, Part 5, our Part 1. I'm Maddie, that's Poodle.
When you think about it, it's fucking absurd. There's no reason we needed it with this cast.
There's, I'm going to say yes and no on that. I feel like even though people are sick of them.
Yeah. I think it could have been 3 parts. 3 parts.
I think that would have been an intense 3 parts. I would have been fine with 4. But it's like this last little turdlet. But even though we're done seeing them for sure, I can't deny that there has been a lot of drama with Ed and Liz, and there's been so much drama with Angela and Michael.
Yeah.
And those things kind of both came to a close. It felt like the end.
That is the most satisfying part about this season. Yeah.
And because of that, though, both of those, especially Angela, they had so much drama to it that I think 4 would have been fine. But this was, I mean, y'all, this felt like, why the fuck are we watching this and parts of this tell-all?
I think it was also when we had to watch Ashley going, did you shush me, Alexi?
That was the dumbest storyline. And then, like, they try to talk about it, but they actually were both listening and talking to one another. So it was actually over in like 3 minutes.
Well, it's just that he realizes that she's not really a serious person. And he's like, okay, just stop interrupting people. And she goes like, the hairs on my neck are really up right now. And
It just felt really fake reality show, creating something from nothing.
yeah, I agree with you. Could have been cut on the floor. And then that whole Maury segment of the polygraph.
Oh my
I
God.
thought Maury.
Now, if they would have, because Karamo does that now, and so he did Maury, like they should have brought Karamo on there. He would have shown them what's up.
I think the lie detector test or the polygraph test is the lowest common denominator. I think once you've brought out a polygraph,
it's hanging fruit.
You're one step from the chimp riding a unicycle.
Yeah.
And I preferred that actually. And y'all, I just said chimp, and that reminds me of Chimp Crazy on Max. I have heard your requests to talk about it. I watched. My eyes were opened.
I've not watched it yet.
If I've ever seen a woman who the full embodiment of Florida in one woman, would be Tanya Haddix.
This takes place in Florida, I'm assuming.
It doesn't. Shockingly, it doesn't.
Really?
Shockingly, it's in Missouri.
Shut up. The show me state.
No, I'm telling you. If you wouldn't have told me this took place in Missouri, I would say, this is Florida for sure.
Wow.
This is Missouri. Yeah. But anyway, it's insane. A lot of great characters. The chimps are great. Alan Cumming is in it.
Okay.
And there's a lot to see. It will be a choice for the Bicurious episode. I think we're going to record that next week or the following. But it will be a choice for the Bicurious episode. So you can cease coming at me about it. I am aware. I now know. I have experienced Chimp Crazy, and now I am Chimp Crazy.
Okay. I'm going to wait to watch it in case it's a Bicurious, so then it's fresh.
I think it's going to win. No, not putting anything out there. We're going to. There's going to be another 2 options as well, but
you can't put shitty shows.
From the I'm not. Before Chimp Crazy I already had a list of things I was going to have.
Oh,
but from the volume of DMs I've received.
Oh no, we've received a lot. That and the fact that Krispy Kreme and Dr. Pepper are doing a collab. I know I've gotten a lot of those too.
I have a feeling we may need to ban posts in the squad about Dr. Pepper in general.
They forgot to put it in the mods notice. They forgot to put it in the Dr. Pepper thread. She said this one slipped through.
I think we need to talk about changing that part of your brand. I'm tired of it.
Well, I didn't ask. So, and I don't care.
I'm telling.
I'm tired of you being bitchy.
That's not going away.
Yeah. So
no.
Let's just agree to a gay mate.
I came out of the womb that way. Came out of the womb and just slapped my doctor. He slapped my butt and I slapped him back.
You slapped him back. I said, "Hey there, boy."
Ow, that hurt. Who do you think you are, a doctor?
We also, y'all, Selling Sunset is coming. Season 8. We're very excited. We're going to start recording that tomorrow. So we'll have all those episodes dropped. We will put out the first...
September 6th is when it all drops.
We will put out the first. It's going to be the first. It's only one podcast episode, but we'll put the first. We do 2 episodes per.
We do 2 episodes per.
So
podcast
1 and
episode.
2 will be on the public feed for you all to try before you buy, and then anything after that is going to be at the $5 tier of RG Plus, our lowest tier, which gets you. Love is Blind UK, which just dropped. The reunion is coming out.
Reunion is Monday,
week.
the 26th.
Yes. And so you'll get you can get all the Love is Blind UK. You can get Selling Sunset season 8. And you'll get
Classless.
The Family Chantel. So
you may be too humble to mention this, but you recently told the Summer 1, Summer 2 Southern story.
Oh, yes, the tale of two summers.
The Tale of Two Summers.
Yes.
It was a far, far better thing that I have ever done. To say that I was gooped, gagged, riveted, agog. This is one of the craziest motherfucking Southern stories I've ever heard. I was interested. I asked follow-up questions. I was angry.
I get it.
People were I'm not the same. People are still just gripped by the case of Summer 1 and Summer 2.
Yeah.
If you love Southern stories, this might be the time to upgrade to the $5 tier.
Yeah.
Because I'm still thinking about it, to be honest. And I'm still trying to think about what culture and what world created the framework that a Summer 1 and Summer 2 could coexist.
Well, it all started because we found out there was a Pedro 1 and a Pedro 2. But yet, so...
It did. I will say it was topical. It was topical. And at the end, I said, oh my God, this is the exact same situation. You're like, that's what I was telling you. But that's the first time the stories have actually been relevant.
I think this probably is the first relevant Southern story.
Usually they are tangential at best.
I really enjoyed that Sissy's. A lot of Sissy said they had to listen to 30-second intervals and then rewind 30 seconds to understand what was happening because it was so
very
wild.
Confusing. I had to ask a lot of questions.
And that was a lot of their comments too. They said, I've never heard Poodle so riveted to a Southern story.
It's so lurid. It's lurid.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm not even going to talk about it right now.
No.
If you want to hear it, go to the class list. Oh, that was the last thing. It was season 3, episode 4. It's where we're talking about Pedro discovering his father's second family. And Maddie knew another family someone had basically a second family.
Yeah.
Besides his father's own second family.
Yes, besides my grandpa. It's season 3, episode 4 called, ironically, called Finding Your Roots.
And the thing was, Pedro's name is Pedro Jose Jimeno Jr., and the father named his second family son the exact same number, Pedro Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, then we got into the tale of Summer 1 and Summer 2.
And
it's replete with drugs, family trauma, and a full body cast for a child.
That's in there too.
We need to move on because I'll tell the whole thing.
We gotta go.
Part of me wants to come up with a short about this, and it's very Godard.
I would like
lighting.
I wish somebody could take the audio and animate it.
Yes,
that's what I would. But we'd have to pay them probably thousands of dollars to do that. And
I'm not letting anyone do that. No, I don't like to spend money. By the way, I was on Kate Casey's show, Reality Life.
That was it. That was what I wanted to announce.
She did one of her Saturday series on me. It's like she did one of her Saturday series.
She did Poodle. She pegged him.
I was kind of shocked by how the questions she answered, the questions she asked me were, and what she got me to say. She was a very probing interviewer. But people have had a really good response to it. I loved talking to her. I talked a lot about my parents and kind of growing up and what that was like. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of ended it with, if you felt like this, I think what we try to do on the show is to make people who were different feel seen. Mm-hmm. And I think that was what I was talking about as a child I just wanted someone to see me. And I think for everything we do, has to do with making weirdos like y'all feel seen, because we're weirdos. But anyway, check that out. I had a really great time doing it. It's on her podcast, Reality Life with Kate Casey.
That's wonderful.
If you want to ever hear me interviewed, she asks all the tough questions. Talk about mother poodle and father poodle.
Did you cry?
I teared up once.
Oh, that's
because
good.
of a question she kind of addressed.
Wow.
And it just made me think about both my parents in a different way. And immediately I said, I need to call my parents. And then I forgot and didn't call them.
Yeah.
I think my mother's pissed at me. I can feel her rage across the miles. Yeah. I'm going to get it. I have a feeling I'm going to get a text saying, Jay Bird, are you alive? Do you know who this is? Anyway.
I'm going to see my family this weekend. Another wedding. Here we go.
People need to stop getting married.
They do. Anyway, I think other than that, I'm back in LA for right now, though. Back from Provincetown.
You're gonna be sharing. Well, never mind. It's already happened. I was gonna say you're sharing some of your Provincetown antics on our YouTube Live, but yeah.
When you say antics, I say conversations. Maybe
if you didn't get spit roasted in the town square, you're doing it wrong.
I actually didn't even make out with anyone in Provincetown.
God! This is not how it's done.
I flirted with people a little bit, but I did. No,
you didn't. If you would have flirted the right way, you would have made out with somebody.
Well, but I did. There's a great dog rescue, and there's some schnauzers, because I met a lot of people who had schnauzers in Provincetown, and I talked to every one of them. And then there were several people. There was a couple that had a Westie, 2 guys, and it was interesting because I was talking to them late at night, coming home from the clubs, like around midnight. And one of my friends in our little group that came to Provincetown, I saw he was 5 minutes later, he was walking. He was just covered in either sweat or lube because he went to the dark room. And he walked by and he kind of smiled and waved. And I said, hi. I said, see you at the house. And so that morning he was like, oh, how late did you come back with those 2 guys that you were talking to? And I said, oh, no, I was talking that my mama owned all these Westies and how we got her Westies out in Colgate, Oklahoma. And they were asking where that was and if it was a rescue. I said, and then they just told me about I think it was the Harbor City Dog Rescue. They go to and they both go to church at it was St. Mary of the Harbor. I had a great time.
I'm never going to have a boner again after this conversation. You've managed somehow to de-sexify Provincetown. Yeah, we got to start over. We got to figure out what you're doing.
I flirted. I flirted a lot. So
yeah, I'd like to see footage of that.
Okay,
because I have a feeling most of us would be embarrassed.
Well, I did meet y'all. There's several. I met some sissies even in the wild. On the last date I was leaving, I met sissy Amanda. She just came up to me and she's like, I love your show. So I met her, and then I met Thomas.
Are these people who live there, or are these just like fag hags?
No, people traveling. Yeah. Okay. I met this guy, Thomas, who loves Southern stories. So I sent him
This is the hot one that everyone thought you were dating.
As I tell Poodle all the time, like, we can't ever fuck with sissies. And also, Thomas, it's like you see a friend. But all my friends, oh my God, they were so gross after he left. I was like, he's a sissy. Get off of him.
They're like, we know.
And they're like, give me his number. I'm like, I don't have his number. I'm like, stop it. But I talked to him, and then shout out to Elise, who volunteers for the Provincetown Fest. So she really helped me navigate my way with me and my friends and gave us some good suggestions. And she was wonderful.
Great. Well, I'm glad you had a good time, albeit
Sarah.
Sexless.
It was Sarah and Sissy Sarah. Yes, it was great. I will say, y'all, when you go to Provincetown, really, truly, seeing Varla Jean, the drag queen, was one of the funniest things.
Varla Jean Merman.
Varla Jean Merman was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
She's a classic.
It was so hysterical. Also, it was, and who, I forget her name. We saw them the last night. She's a famous Provincetown, Danita. I'm gonna fuck it up. Yes, Dina Martina.
Oh yeah, she's famous.
She was so fucking great, so fun. Anyway, and had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time.
I'm going to have to go back because when I was there, it was just a lot of dark rooms for me.
Oh, okay. Well,
I didn't really get to see drag queens. I didn't really get to see the outside of a lot of dark houses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't remember going to dinners, really.
Oh,
Just eating granola bars and drinking Gatorade.
and hard-boiled eggs for protein.
Yeah. Didn't really get to take the scenic route.
Yeah.
More tied up.
Well, it was. I'm planning on. I think I'm going to try to go back every year if I can. It was wonderful.
Now I want to go again, the nice way, not like staying in a fucking sleeping 4 in a bed.
Yeah, something tells me you're going to try to go the nice way, and then where's Poodle? Don't ask.
I'm respectable now.
No,
I'm a respectable fag.
I remember they were talking about, they're like, did you see that? Because there's a pool table, but you can't play pool on it. It's covered in like leather pleather so they can wipe the jizz off.
Of course. That's a good thing to have.
It's it because I walked in the dark room with a couple of my. They said, "Let's," and this is kind of early in the night. They said, "Let's go see the dark room." I said, "Okay," because it was an underwear party, so we're all in our underwear, and so we go to the dark room, and then they're sitting there, and I thought they just wanted to see it, and I'm trying to like talk and have a conversation with my friends. I'm like, they're not really talkative, and then I noticed them like looking at this other guy sucking another guy's dick, and I went,
"Oh." This is a room for public sex.
I think I'm not wanted here. And I'm not against public.
I don't know how my stories about Westies are going to play right now.
I kind of actually think public sex is hot, but in a different way, like with somebody you know or you're in a relationship with. I don't know.
Not strangers you're talking about.
No judgment. I'm just super demisexual right now. So it's just.
Oh, here we go with the demisexual.
We'll see. I'm going to a gay.
What a rare state.
A gay little pool party today with my friend. So who knows?
You're going to a gay pool party?
I am.
What bathing suit you're wearing?
I'm wearing a Speedo because that's what that Speedo's required. I don't give a shit.
Is it West Hollywood?
No, I would never go to a West Hollywood pool party. It's in Eagle Rock with normal people.
A bear party.
Yeah, it's a normal one.
I don't know if I'd say normal. It is a less than typical what you would think of as a gay pool party in Los Angeles,
where everyone's not on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, there was one guy in the dark room, and they said there was this guy who was just kind of laying on the pool table, and men were just taking turns at him. And I thought, yeah, that'd be Jake.
The things that come into your head when you're laying on a pool table. Boys, put that pool cue down. Not tonight.
Penis.
It's a Tuesday.
Big dick, corner left pocket. Ooh, it's an 8-ball. It's
Scratch.
an 8-ball. Scratch. Okay, we've talked for like 25 minutes. People are screaming.
It doesn't matter. This is much better than the tell-all.
If you're annoyed by this and want to hear about this tell-all, what's wrong with you? I'm shaming you.
I will say, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about this tell-all. You don't need to watch it. This is not really great.
I agree. There's not really much to watch on this one.
We start off with backstage antics.
Backstage antic.
Lauren, I gotta say, I know Lauren can have kind of a. I think it's cliche to use the term mean girl anyway. Lauren can bring in an energy that says, I've been doing this for a while, and I kind of need to be, in other words, respect me because I've been here for a while. Also, they're on Pillow Talk, and they're pretty much one of the big couples on Pillow Talk. And Lauren especially is very, very kind of honest with her opinions, and she makes funny observations. Mm-hmm. And if you're on Pillow Talk, y'all, I think like Thais and Patrick, I think are on Pillow Talk, or maybe John and Patrick. But like women get hate for this a lot more than men. For what they say. So Lauren's pretty cutting sometimes.
But I think you make a good point. She doesn't say anything worse than like what
Patrick would say.
What Patrick say. It's kind of we talk about all the
Patrick's
time.
Patrick's a little bitch. He'll go around and like say, you saw it.
It's like Kim and Kyle. Kim can't say shit. Kyle, we can say the
he
same
can say
shit.
what he wants.
And people that are on cray cray and they don't come
But they'll come for the women to do it. And but anyway, so Thais has brought this in, even though it wasn't really that bad. And I think Sophie just kind of jumps on the bandwagon because y'all, if you remember at the very end, Lauren and Lexi's like, hey guys, we gotta leave. We got 3 small children. We got a plane.
Gotta get a plane. He has to work tomorrow.
Sophie says, but that's not fair. You no one came for you guys, and you were very opinionated on everyone else. And Lauren's like, all right, come on, I got 5 minutes, and just sits down. And I went, this is the biggest fucking boss move. I love you for this. You're calling them out on it, and you're flipping the script. And at one point, I'm like, why is Rob hiding behind the couch clutching a Red Bull? It was very strange.
It was strange how he was sitting like that.
And she said, I wasn't opinionated. I asked appropriate questions, and I was very prepared to answer your questions, and nobody asked me any.
And Sophie said,
ask me questions.
And Sophie said, but you guys didn't show any of your bad side. And I went, no, it's because their bad side is like
having normal couple arguments.
Lauren didn't Narcan her mother.
Yeah,
like there's it's just a very big difference in your lives.
Lauren didn't have multiple breakdowns, and also I think what Lauren and Alexi have learned to do better is knowing they're always going to support each other at the tell-all. They never stop with unwavering. So even when Alexi's getting grilled, and even though she thinks something that Alexi, either she has a problem with it, she's not going to go full anti.
They disagree. Like last week, where she said she felt like Alex was being misogynist or something like that.
He's the same for her.
Yeah,
but it's they never don't support one another.
Yeah,
and that's what pissed people off. They all kind of want to be them. That's the other issue.
That's what I think it was. Because honestly, I think, at least from what we're seeing, I think they have a very healthy marriage. It's hard right now, but we're looking
as far as 90 Day goes. As far as 90 Day goes, probably one of the healthier ones.
No, because I think it makes sense because we see Emily and Kobe, who also have a very healthy marriage. At least it seems. Even Emily is like, y'all, because here's the deal. When you calmly, not angrily, not with dramatics, but when someone is being hysterical, and when you get calm and ask them to just say it to your face, in a calmly way, 90% of the time, they've got nothing. And they had nothing.
At one point, she's like, you didn't get to see your bad side. And Lauren goes, what do you mean? She's like, are you not fucking here? Now, this was mean. And then she looked at Rob and says, oh, I kind of get it now. And I went,
bitchy. That was bitchy, but it was good.
That was really bitchy. I laughed. I literally laughed.
Sophie tries to say all the time that she's like, you always say you're team women. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember Lauren being like, I'm team women.
I think she would normally try to point out where the men were wrong. I think that, but I don't think she's ever said I'm team women. But
she brings up a good point though too, because Thais starts in on her, and Lauren says, all I said in tell-all, I said, I think your husband should defend you. It's not your job. And they show the clip of what she
Yeah.
said. And y'all, nothing bad was said. She was just,
Yeah.
she said she liked John, and she was saying
Thais's
he should
issue
defend
is she
her.
liked John, and so Thais was being pretty sensitive, mostly because it was coming from another woman, probably. And Lauren is the first one to kind of go a little tough on people, and
I think she would have been a good debater in high school, because I think she actually takes facts and she holds people accountable for the facts she saw.
well, she's had to fight with her mother her whole life.
Yeah, how could you when Marlene's your mother? Fuck.
Anyway, Sophie says, I'm just saying you guys are perfect online. And Lauren's like, wish you guys the best of luck. And Ty's like, you're not better than anyone. And I was like, I never would have said I was. She's like, you act like it. And Lauren goes, are you out of your mind?
And
Look at me.
Yes.
She's like, do you know what I think? I hate myself every day.
She's like, I have body dysmorphia. I get anxiety. I have Tourette's. Which is, and I don't know if because if you've gone back and watched older seasons of 90 Day Fiancé, yes, especially in some of the tell-alls, like the one with Lauren and Pal, that was terrible.
That's awful.
But you see, watching her seasons, though, you see how terrible her mother and her sister were to her, and how
Lauren's painfully insecure.
She was riddled with anxiety, riddled with it.
But the fact, that's why she said, are you out of your mind, that she thought she was better than them. She's like, I think I'm much worse.
And then Ty said, but when Elise was born, you commented and said, congratulations. And I went,
and she's like, because
very nice thing to do.
What Thais was saying here was, it was fake, because she couldn't separate being on Pillow Talk and kind of being a performer from what they would say in person, which is why Lauren and Alexi are going to be on Pillow Talk are funny, and they're going to continue to stay on.
Yes.
Yeah. And anyway, so where is it?
And finally, it's Emily who says, listen, she's like, y'all aren't asking any questions. If there's no questions, go to the airport, Lauren.
And Alexi's like, Lauren, we just need to leave.
Because Lauren's starting to get pissed.
Yeah. And Sophie's like, well, maybe you just stay for a few hours out of respect. And anyway, and I kept writing on, this is Pillow Talk. And it's so, and Sophie's like, go catch your flight. Lovely to meet you. And Lauren goes, lovely to meet you. And walks away, because this point, y'all, it's full. Lauren's had it.
It's foolishness to
and
her.
she's like, she's such a bitch.
She does. You know who does that? You do that when you're pissed off. You will talk. If you're pissed off about service, you'll talk to me or someone else loudly so they can hear it.
Of course, that's how you do it. What a bitch. I'm an asshole. What a moron.
And I'm just sitting in the Delta Lounge at the airport, just standing there looking at someone.
And Sophie's like, but I had an anxiety attack. And Lauren's like, I suffer from Tourette's, anxiety, OCD, screenshots, timelines. Like, it just...
Receipts.
It just... and then she's like, I'm so sorry we have children to take care of.
that was a mother poodle.
So many passive-aggressive lines. This was a great way. It's a flaming ball of just destruction on her way out. I loved it.
She is the daughter of Marlene. She can summon that if she needs to.
And so she's leaving. They run into Angela on the way out. She's like, Angela, where were you? I needed you. And tells her the situation. She's like,
oh, wait, one second before Angela. I just want to talk about when Lauren, her last line, she says, to them, as she says, what a bitch run, walks out, but she says, I was defending you and you said it's fucked up. I am defending you. And when she walks out, Patrick says, which is what I do, by the way. Yes! And I laugh because I'm like, no, you don't.
I already do that. I already do that.
Ever fucking do that. Anyway, I'm sorry, continue. Talk about
That's fine.
With
they
Angela.
run into Angela and Angela's like, well, as long as they hate you, you're doing something right. And then they are basically saying, I think it's Rob's like, well, let's have a really good time. And basically, so they wish they would have stayed. And Jasmine says, let's forget about a minute about our miserable marriages and pretend that we are happy.
So And I wrote, that's it. Jasmine called it out. That she called it out that everyone is jealous that they have a happy
That's
relationship.
what it is.
And the ones, at least not everyone, because Emily and Kobe didn't do this, but the ones that came at her are fucking, which
They're miserable.
I don't think Thais is miserable with Patrick. I think maybe with John. But I think she is in some ways is very unhappy, and it will be glad. I think going to Brazil will be better for their
Thais is a spoiled princess. Full stop.
Yeah. I liked her a lot in this tell-all, and she was funny, but I think she's spoiled.
And if you're not buttering her up, treating her really well all the time, and making her feel like a princess, she's not going to be happy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I actually think one of the reasons that she doesn't want to have another kid is she's not sure if she wants to stay married with his traveling all the time.
I think that's why I said they need to go to Brazil. Like that.
That would be it for them. I think that would be so much better. She would be where she needs to be. She'd be taken care of, so it's not his job all the time.
Yeah. It would be cheaper for them to live.
That would be the solution. I think that's the way to keep them together.
I think she would be around her dad. I think that dad would end up being a really good father-in-law to Patrick.
He doesn't have any more family. His dad just passed. He's got John and the gay brother.
Oh, Patrick's dad passed away?
No, I'm sorry, the mom.
The mom passed away. Yeah.
He doesn't have any mom. Doesn't have any more family in America. I said it's just John and the gay brother.
His cute gay brother in Vegas.
But that's it. And
his cute husband.
If they go down there, everyone else can just visit. I think that's the best thing for them. Totally. Remember the mom who kind of looked like, God rest her soul, who looked like John Candy in a wedding dress from Nothing But Trouble?
Yeah.
I'm going to hell. Woo-hoo, get it hot down there, devil, because I'm a-coming.
I don't think anybody was surprised by that.
Turn up the flames. I like it hot.
Angela says, she comes in and says goodbye to everyone. She's like, I'm going home and I made up my mind. It's just the facts.
I need peace. And do you see, and Thais is saying, did you hear this? Thais says to Angela, what's the future for you guys? And Jasmine goes, anger management.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's going home. She says she's getting a lawyer. And then this is the interesting thing about this is what's interesting about Angela. And it's something I've thought about before, but I never really thought it through. Angela really becomes a persona here. Like her persona on the tell-all and when she's in front of a camera is very different than who she is. Like both of them are angry, hurt people, but the persona says things like, y'all you don't need to feel sorry for me. And so, because in other words, she thinks she's the center of this tell-all. She thinks she's the star of the tell-all. That's what she really believes.
No, I think, okay, I understand what you're saying now. Yes, I think.
But it's not in reality.
I think she thinks she's the star of everything in her life, or needs that constant validation. She even said, I don't want to fight. I just want to take my visa and go home. And Jasmine says, what do you mean by your visa?
Oh, this was one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard.
It was so fucking gross. And I have to say, I liked him. I really liked him before, but I love Kobe for trying to hold Angela to the fire about this and doing this in a way that it was kind of worked out perfectly. Because if it's a woman, then Angela is going to try to get physical with her and threaten physicalness.
With
she's not going to do that with fucking
walk.
Kobe.
She kind of has to walk away or call him an asshole.
She would do it with a man like Ed, but not fucking y'all. We've met Kobe. Yeah, his arms are huge,
and I think And Angela says, I'm doing this for love. And if I don't think he loves me, he doesn't deserve it. That's the visa, when she calls my visa, because by her logic, I paid for the visa. So it's my visa, even though it's his travel documents.
Like we find out later when she took her wedding ring, but it's his ring.
Yes.
And Kobe even brings up, he's like, you should have thought of this a long time ago. And she goes, why are you being a male chauvinist? And then, even though she says, I'm done with him, I'm breaking up, I'm taking home, taking my visa, she immediately turns to Michael and goes, why aren't you defending me?
Yeah.
Why? And so then it just becomes another way for her to attack Michael.
Yeah. At this point, you can just tell... This is what we said before. Angela needs to live in crisis because it feels normal, or she needs to live in anger because it feels normal. And if she's not getting it, she'll make up a reason. Like the whole thing with Michael. And then it upsets, and Kobe's like, it's almost, she says, your visa, like Michael is nothing. Someone you can just bring into the U.S. and send him back.
Jasmine is sobbing. She feels so bad for him.
Yeah, because she kept saying my visa, and it triggered her. Because, in other words, saying that person's almost a piece of your property. And yeah, this was really hard to watch. Someone talk about another human being in these terms, and it doesn't surprise me, but it's reprehensible.
It almost reminds me too, because they try to leave, and Kobe, Angel says, Kobe's bringing that dominant shit to our country. And I went, all right, stop. And so, but when Kobe walks out there, Kobe say, he's trying to say, I'm not defending him. But just trying to point out the obvious. And Angela finally says, and this goes back to that persona thing. She looks at him and says, you just made me have to go take a shit because you're such a fool of bullshit.
Yeah. It's playing for the camera. She's like,
oh, honey, you're reaching.
She's the female star of the tell-all. And this is the thing where I think this is total disassociation at this point.
I think it's honestly, I say satisfying, but I don't mean it makes me happy.
No, I totally understand what you mean. It's satisfying
to see.
It's satisfying because the cameras are there and you're seeing the unraveling.
And what it reminds me of when we kind of see this, we'll talk about it in part 2 when we kind of get the final update from Michael and Angela and all that. But y'all, it is that thing that, because I remember we talked a lot about this when I was in therapy school, of how do we get safety, and someone who's in a domestic abuse situation, how do you help them? And the first way to not do that is to not bring up an abusive situation in front of the abuser.
Exactly.
And this is what for anybody who tries to help, you can't do that in front of. So hopefully this is because we see later on, I guarantee you, Kobe had many conversations with Michael outside of this tell-all. And I believe in my soul, Kobe is the reason why Michael left.
Oh, that's interesting.
I truly believe that. I believe he is the one that helped get him a lifeline to leave. We're going to talk about that later.
I hope so. But I think Kobe kept going up and saying, he's like, I just don't get it. He's like, and Kobe said, Michael, your visa is your personal document.
Yes.
And Michael is holding Kobe back from talking to Angela more. And then at one point, Angela goes, Kobe, you're a bitch. No disrespect to you, Emily.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
So, and Kobe says, Angela can't control him forever. I could see what you're saying. Maybe that now the hard thing is Angela has him so locked down. As far as his phone, though,
I bet got a new phone.
Maybe let's hope so.
Because Kobe says, I think she's an ass, and she's always trying to control this man. And he said, you can try at the beginning, but you can never forever. And it is interesting how Angela, in a way, she could control the narrative. It's not him. She, like you said, it's this persona thing. She could control the narrative when he was back in Nigeria.
Yep.
Now that he's here, she can't walk out and Michael's sitting there staring on a screen. Michael's actually in the room.
And part of it knows that if she behaves this way, yes, she's angry and blah, blah, blah. She's going between the rage monster and the victim. Part of her knows that's a real performance. I guarantee you, though, the part that's at home with just them is a lot more sinister and mean. The comedy isn't there that there is here. So in some ways, I think it's over the top performative, but there's a lot of truth in it. But it is the fact that she's disassociated from her own reality. Yeah, it is. She's now the tell-all queen. She's been on things saying this is how to act like a queen or things like that. I think she's left this planet a long time ago about kind of grounded in who she is.
And don't you think that she's always said, on tells, I just lost my head and I lose control and I got to work on that. I actually think this tell-all is the first time she's actually lost control of herself.
I agree. Because remember Last Resort? I didn't watch all of it. She was much more exhausted, tired, trying to understand things.
Yeah, they actually had a really interesting, and she forgave him in that, kind of for the cheating and all that. But
something happened and she got activated again. And this is how she thinks she needs to be on a tell-all.
Yeah.
She needs to come in there like a wildebeest.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right. So they're all starting to leave.
We're heading back. Everyone is sleeping while Kobe is talking. Kobe's still talking about, because he's obviously very bothered about Michael. Everyone else is just like, we've had a really long day.
Yes. They've had a long day. They're all beginning to leave. I don't know. I feel like this might be a good time for us to kind of pause and
this is a good place to stop.
This is a good place to stop.
We got through everything. We're going to go back to the house for a very strange evening. It's almost like about halfway through, it feels like everyone found out the Gestapo was coming and we needed to get out of the house immediately.
I don't understand why. Why would you go back to the house?
We were leaving under veil of night.
Why would you go back to the house to drink, to then leave? Why wouldn't you stay one more night?
I don't know.
This is the way how every reality show works. People go, they get up in the morning,
and then they leave. The Gestapo's coming. Everyone, Chanel. It was so weird. I don't know. We will talk about it. The late night fleeing from the mansion.
Before we do that, I remembered something just before we finish up. We need to talk about our final two couples that are going to be on Before the 90 Days.
Oh my God. We can probably do that. We can do that on the next show.
You want to do both? Okay. So we'll do both of those on the final part 5, our part 2 of episode 24.
It's never going to end.
Of season 8 of Happily Ever.
It's like a Kafka novel. It never ends. And I wake up as a bug.
Wow. All right, everybody. So we'll see you in part 2. We're going to jump over into that. Until then, leave us a review on Apple Podcast or on Spotify, wherever you listen. Go to realitygaze.com. If you want to listen to this show commercial free, you can by joining RG Plus at the $8 tier. That is available on patreon.com/realitygaze or realitygaze.supercast.com, or just click that button on Apple subscriptions, an $8 tier, and that will get you set up on that. And with that, you will also get this last week's episode of Love After Lockup was so good. It's so good. You'll get Love After Lockup. Oh, and also we really enjoyed Welcome to Plathville. that was great too. So, God, and that, and Golden Bachelorette, and Selling Sunset season 8.
It's a good time to be a trash peddler.
Sure is. All right, everybody. So, you can go to that all on our website. We appreciate you very much. Oh, never mind. We already did it. I was about to talk about our YouTube live, but I forgot.
Oh, yeah. It's already happened.
I hope you enjoyed it. Whoever's out there.
It's great. It's great.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in part 2. Until then, we call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places?
Yes. And if you've ever been at a party and you just want to leave, you can just say, best of luck to everyone. I've got 5 minutes. And so there you go. I just Irish goodbye. It's the best way.
I usually say, I have 3 kids to take to school tomorrow morning. And I leave.
God, that's the only reason I wish I had children. Just an excuse for everything.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.